Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you've been enjoying the videos. If you have, then please do remember to subscribe. It helps a channel such as a small channel such as myself. And I do appreciate everybody who watches the videos and comments. I've had some great comments on here as well. So if you do have any comments about the videos, please do feel free to do that in the comment section as well. Today I'm going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, which episode 7 aired, well, today as of the recording of this video. And I'm just going to be going through the series, and there's going to be some spoilers in there, so please, if you haven't seen the series yet, go and watch it and then come back, listen to what I have to say. It was an episode, or rather it was a series of two halves for me, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. I'm going to go into the last episode, tonight's episode, in a little while, but going for the rest of the series, it was definitely a series of two halves. For the first 5 episodes, it was all about Boba Fett, and we went back into his backstory, which is nothing wrong with that. Went into his backstory about how he, from the very first, from when he was a child, seeing his father fly away in in Slave One, up until the point where he was, the encounter that he had in Return of the Jedi, and then we find out that he survived that and was taken in by the Tusken Raiders, who, the Sand People, who were, helped him, not only healed him, but also eventually took him in and made him one of their own people. And then, of course, we see through the rest of this next 5 episodes, his backstory continues up until the point where you meet him in the Mandalorian series, and then that kind of finishes that part of the series. And then from then on, it's basically Mandalorian. Episode 6 and 7. I think episode 6 you hardly see Tamara Morrison at all. You hardly see Boba Fett at all. And in episode 7, it was pretty much the same. You only see him, briefly in that episode, and those 2 episodes are more about Mandalorian, who tries to find out where Grogu's gone and wants to see him, or wants to give him a present, which is the chainmail little suit that he holds up, that's made from Beskar. And so you get to see him trying to find Grogu, and then when he gets there, of course, he meets Ahsoka, who tells him not to go and see Grogu because Grogu's missing him and it's not going to be good for his training, that kind of thing. And then at the end of episode 7, I keep saying season, at the end of episode 7, you see Luke Skywalker, who, let me just say, the special effects of Luke Skywalker, the graphics of Luke Skywalker's face, the deep faking they did, absolutely amazing, much better than we saw at the end of Mandalorian season 2. He really does look incredible, and I know there was a YouTuber that did a better deep fake of Luke Skywalker from the season 2, and I think they did hire him, so maybe he has some input into this. But that was absolutely fantastic. It looked absolutely amazing. So you do see some of the training that goes on between him and Grogu, and he does say that he feels he's not sure whether his heart's really in this, and whether he's actually teaching him anything, or whether he's just remembering his Force training and his Jedi training. And so at the end of the 7th episode, he gives Grogu a choice. He says, "Look, you can take this chainmail armor, but you have to go back to the Mandalorian. You don't stay here. You go back to the Mandalorian, live with him, or you can take Yoda's lightsaber, which he has, and that means that you become my first pupil, and you then become a Jedi. I'll train you to become a Jedi, and you come to my school." And this was an interesting thing. I saw a few videos on this on YouTube. It is an interesting point, this particular intersection, because you think, well, Kylo Ren was, according to the last trilogy of Star Wars, he was the first pupil of Luke Skywalker. So to have Grogu as the first pupil changes the canon from those 3 movies. And a lot of people are saying it's the pivotal moment, because if he decides to stay with Luke Skywalker, it means that they're changing canon, they're changing what happened in those last 3 movies. Well, it left on that cliffhanger of him making that decision. I'm now going to go on to episode 8, and what we see is R2-D2 flying the X-Wing with Grogu in it back to back to the Mandalorian. Basically, you see him flying back and back to Tatooine and landing there and becoming, meeting up with the Mandalorian again. So the inference to that is that he has chosen the Mandalorian. He's wearing the chainmail, so it looks like he's returned to the Mandalorian. But you never see him make that choice. He has chosen the chainmail, and he's going back to the Mandalorian, but you never actually see him make that choice. And that's the only kind of iffy part, I think, is that if you haven't actually seen him make that choice, is he going to be a pupil of Luke Skywalker and he's just gone to help the Mandalorian, or has he actually gone back to the Mandalorian? Well, I think we'll find out that in the next series of the Mandalorian when it comes around, which should be this year. I think it's going to be this year or next year, something next year maybe. So Grogu goes back, and basically it's the fight. It's the fight between the people who's running the spice and Boba Fett and his team, his army that he's managed to muster. And it's a good final episode. I think it works all right. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of shooting, lots of phasers and things going off. Not phasers, but lots of blasters going off. And the Mandalorian tries to use the Darksaber a couple of times, doesn't do very well with it, to be fair. And that's pretty much what the last episode was. It was about fighting. It was about getting people to help out to defeat this rabble army, and to go into to try and get these people out of the village and away from Tatooine. We see Fennec going in and killing the boss of these guys and all the other people, including the mayor. We see her going in and doing that. So it feels as though that's the end of it from that point of view, that the spice isn't going to be running through Tatooine anymore, that it's going to be different now, and that they're going to be a much better and a more peaceful town. And you see the residents from Freedom come and help him. You see the sheriff of Freedom, or Freetown I should say. He is actually in the back of tank at the end, the very end. If you see the credits, wait until the end of the credits, because there isn't a post-credit scene where you see him in the back of tank, and you see the guy that rebuilt Fennec. You see him there as well, so it looks like he's going to rebuild the sheriff. So it's interesting. It was okay. There were a couple of things that were inferred on YouTube in the rumor mill. A couple of things inferred about the last episode which didn't happen, and so it's I'm not sure. Apparently there were quick editing. There was lots of rushed editing and reshoots of the final episode and things like that. I don't know. It didn't look like that, to be fair. It didn't look disconnected or mashed up. It looked okay. Was this the best season in the world? Not really. I don't think it was the best in the world. I mean, yes, those episodes 6 and 7 were good. I enjoyed episodes 6 and 7 more than any of the other episodes. Episode 8 was good in its own way, but I felt that it wasn't up to the Mandalorian seasons, for example. But obviously having Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian in the final 3 episodes did, I think, help carry it through. The first 5 episodes were good. I mean, it's good to see the backstory of the Mandalorian. Backstory of Boba Fett. But it was also a little bit slow and a little bit laboured at times, which is going to be if you're trying to do a backstory and trying to put in flashbacks and things like that. Apparently there is talk about another season of Book of Boba Fett going on. I don't know whether they will or not. It depends, I guess, on how this season is met and how it's welcomed by the fans or not. But I would love to hear your ideas. What do you think, or your thoughts, I should say, on not only on episode 8 but on the whole season? What do you think about it? Did you agree that it's okay? It was a good season. Do you think it added anything to the whole Star Wars universe? Do you feel that they could have done better, or do you think that Grogu made the right choice? Do you think he should have stayed with Luke Skywalker, or do you feel that he should have gone with the Mandalorian? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And that is it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As I said before, please do like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And until next time, I will see you around. Bye bye.